Joining us now is another man that watched the Oscars because we did share text messages last night about this entire situation. Obviously, the face of college football and one of the staples of college game day, an absolute icon, but now he will be known as the greatest booth in the NFL on Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime alongside the GOAT, Al Michaels. Ladies and gentlemen, NFL broadcaster, Kirk Herbstreit.
Fellas, how we doing?
Hey, welcome to the men's league. Welcome to the men's league.
Yeah, you've been telling me about the men's league, so now it's official. But last night, man, I was texting with you back and forth because I was with you like I haven't seen any of these movies, you know. Like you guys were saying, I used to watch it, and you know, majority of the movies, and then bam, and I was like, this is a bit, right? They're goofing around. There's no way it's real until we got the unedited version when he sat down. Yeah. Because my audio, like yours, went out for like 10 seconds. You missed all that. And then about 10 minutes later, the unedited version came out. I think you and I were texting back and forth that, and it was like, oh no, this is very real.
Yeah. That was a real thing. And Diddy, by the way, Diddy said that they were going to make up at the gold party. Shout out to Beyonce, having a gold party there where, you know, everybody was able to set aside their differences. Saw a little bit of Will Smith getting jiggy with it, rapping to the crowd, having a good time with his Oscar. That was fantastic. So I guess they're past it, but the Japanese version, I believe, is the one we saw, right?
Yeah.
It was, the Japanese version was that. And I wonder how the Academy told the English version one, hey, we need to freeze everything and do that. And they just didn't get the word to the Japanese conglomerate, like, hey, we need to hide this because that thing was gone. I mean, the international feeds were like, yep, this is actually what happened over there. Everybody needs to see it. Boom, boom, boom. The guy that put that out, his name's like Tim Bubba, or I forget, Bubba something. I forget his name. I apologize. That thing had over 100,000 retweets. 100,000 retweets like this. Boom, 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 going. Everybody saw it.
Touched on it, but the thing I took out of that once I realized it was real is Chris Rock. I mean, not only standing up and taking it, but then starting to try to communicate with Will, like, man, it was a joke. Seriously? Did you just do that? And then he kind of started to like go at him, and then he gathered himself, and then he just tried to give away, you know, the next Oscar. But to put yourself in his shoes, I mean, you got to be really impressed how he kept his composure. And the fact he stood to take that smack, that was impressive.
Hey, congrats, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Nice work, Chris.
A lot of people are wondering if it wasn't Chris Rock instead of The Rock, would have Will Smith have done that? I mean, these are all things that we're going to have to find out at some point. But Chris Rock taking that, eating it, and then, all right, let's get to the documentary. That is, and then he called it in the moment the greatest moment in live television. And by waking up this morning, any of us that have Instagram or any of our social media feeds, it was all that was anywhere. I mean, there was a couple other words trending alongside. One that rhymes with duck.
Right.
There's a lot of other stuff that happened out there. Will Smith is taking it on the shins this morning, as he should, by the way. Excited to see how that pans out. Chris Rock's going on tour soon, Herbstreit. So let's see. You know, there has to be at least 5 to 10.
Oh, yeah.
There has to be at least 5 to 10 on that, Herbie.
Yeah. We're if it's in Indy or Cincy or anywhere close, you guys call me. I'm coming with you guys.
All right, they are coming Indy. He is coming Indy, so we'll check it out.
Okay.
Let's talk about your fall schedule. All right? Because you just added something. And we have, you know, been big fans of yours for a long time. We've gotten to know you now, even bigger fans of the human you are, especially to us. You've always been super cool to us. But your schedule has been wild, right? I think we've all witnessed it. You have game day Saturday morning, but that takes 2 days of prep where you're shooting interviews with the guys and traveling around for that. Game day Saturday morning. Then you hop on a plane, fly to wherever the Saturday night game is, get into a truck or a bus where you're watching all the games during the day. Then you travel home. There's like a good 5 days there where you're on the road filming shit. Boom, boom, boom. All season long in like 4 different cities in 4 days almost every single week. It's nothing short of remarkable. Boomer Sison's work ethic a lot higher than yours, but you are still in the department. Now you're adding Thursday Night Football. First of all, congrats. We're all very happy. So how did that come to be? Did you know that you were in on that? Did you want it? Because ESPN, I've been pushing you for a long time. Hey, do Monday Night Football. Let's go. Let's go. Get into the NFL. You said you love college. You would never give up college if you were to do it. How did the Thursday Night Football thing come to be? And we're very pumped for you, dude.
I appreciate it, man. I really do. It happened, and again, you and I text and back and forth quite a bit. You know, a lot of times me checking to see what you're up to, but in this case, it just happened really fast. I think Troy's announcement was like on February 22nd or 23rd, and I didn't know anything about that. And so my first reaction was I was really excited for the company to be able to bring Troy over to ESPN, because to me he's not only was he an incredible player, one of the best to ever play the position, but also he's obviously a great broadcaster. So I was fired up for him. And then I did think a little bit of, as much as I love college, I'd stay in that space just the rest of my career and would have been very content. I just thought, okay, well, all this talk, because there was always talk about the potential of Chris and I maybe doing Monday Night Football. Clearly that's gone. So, I guess I'll just college space was basically my reaction. And then your friend and mine called me like the day after, or maybe 2 days later, and said, hey, I got a call from the Amazon folks, and they just want to check out, see what's going on. And I honestly didn't even really, I wasn't like, oh, this is great. It wasn't anything like that. I was like, oh, okay. And then like a day or two later, he said, here, we potentially have a firm offer. And so it moved very, very fast. And to the point where I had to really start to think about, can I do this? Can I physically do Thursday night game preparation that it takes to get ready for a Thursday game, and then do all the other stuff I was already doing, which takes up most of my week? And then, I obviously decided yes, and kind of pride myself on my preparation. And then Al Michaels became part of it as well. And then it was like, to me, I don't care if I have to work 7 days a week, 15 hours a day to have a chance to work with Al Michaels, just a legendary broadcaster, one of the greatest to ever do it. Just an honor to even be in the booth with him. So then it was even more of a no-brainer for me. So here we are. A couple weeks later, we make the announcement, and now it's a go. So I'm excited and Freddie Godelli, who's the producer of Al's game with Chris on Sunday, is going to be over as well. So man, they're putting together just a dream team behind the scenes. Not to mention have Al there. I'm looking forward to being a part of it, and yeah, we're gonna try to do something that there's never been streaming done with the NFL and really any mainstream sports in America. And so it's a new endeavor for Amazon Prime, and to be at the beginning of it has me fired up. But it's gonna be a lot of work, obviously. But yeah, it's going to be a great time.
You don't have to tell us. By the way, that's amazing. They made the right decision. I think allegedly they were honed in on Troy Aikman. And then when Troy goes to ESPN, in our eyes, we're like, oh, they're going to pick somebody terrible. Like, this is just how it's going to be. And I know you don't watch as much NFL as we do. There's a lot of terrible teams in the NFL. It's not an easy job. What you make look very, very easy on Saturday nights alongside Chris, and whenever you had to do Monday Night Football, you had that Giants-Steelers game, I think. Yeah. You made it just look so simple. It is a very difficult job. You have a great feel for it. I think you speak to the layman's. You speak to humans that might not necessarily know everything, and you have a good feel, which we are very thankful for. So whenever your name was brought up, I think we brought it up, and then you immediately got interviewed for it, and then you get the gig. The NFL community is fucking thankful, dude, because Thursday night we got you and Al, okay? Sunday night we got Tarico and Collinsworth. Then Monday night we got Joe and Troy. It's like the NFL, we're back.
Yeah, get it.
We're back. You know what I mean? And you said like it's a dream to work with Al. Al told us his first ever World Series was for the Cincinnati Reds in 1972. I know you're a diehard Reds fan. Had you and Al known each other beforehand? Everybody obviously loves Al Michaels, but have you guys had a personal relationship before this? And how will you build up chemistry?
No, man, and that's such a big part of it, in my opinion, if they're doing 26 years of this. Because, I worked with Brent Musburger as well. And I grew up watching him the way I grew up watching Al, and I didn't know him. And so my big thing to my producer was, man, I got to go to some dinners, Friday nights, let's go to dinner. Let's try to, become friendly, where you're not kind of pretending to have chemistry, but you start to get to know each other. You get to know, you tell stories about each other, your families, and you just start to become friends more than anything. And the only way you can do that is to spend time together. And so that's what my hope is. I always have watched Al. I've gone all the way back to really the 1980 Olympics. You believe in miracles like most Americans. And he's been an icon in my mind from that point on. Not to mention, you mentioned the red stuff, which would be fun to talk to him about. But now I did a few Zooms with him. Look, I'm going to meet with him in about a week out in L.A., go to dinner. But no, I'm looking forward to building that relationship and hopefully becoming friends. And I think that'll pay off on the air. But yeah, I think that like just like you guys, I mean, part of what makes you guys great is you can tell when the camera's off and you guys are done for the day, you're friends. It comes.
Well, not Connor. We hate him.
Yeah, just me.
No, I'm joking.
But you can tell your boys, and you can't fake that. And if you have that, man, I think it goes a long way. Like with Joe Buck and Troy, don't they seem like they're friends? Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels. They just come across. I think when you're an analyst, you never talk down to your viewer. You almost like want to pull chairs around everybody and like, come on, you guys check this game out. Like you're talking with them instead of talking down to them. And that's part of when you said you talk in layman's terms, that's part of what I've always wanted to do is whether it's my wife listening or a coach listening, you don't want to talk about 3 techniques and inverted safeties. You want to talk about the game in a way that people can understand it. And that's really what I try to pride myself on.
Well, you're natural too. Like you have a great delivery, a good cadence. And whenever you talk about like gathering a chair, not talking down, my big thought on these commentators is like, hey, you're setting the tone for everybody that's watching the game. Like I am watching a game with you, whether I like it or not, I am being forced to watch a game with you. And I think a lot of these people forget that get on, not a lot, I'm sorry. A lot of the people that stink, they forget like, hey, this show isn't about you. Like this show is about all the people that are currently trying to enjoy it. So like a bad game, you got to make better, right? Like isn't that is something that you actually have to do, right?
Yeah. And I think the other thing is you get out of the way, the best you can. I think laying out and letting people hear the crowd after a big touchdown or a big sack or a turnover or a game-winning field goal or whatever it is, you have to try to remember what it feels like to be on the couch, watching the game. And your brain is full of so much information based on your preparation. Picture it. You watch film like you're a player. You get a chance to sit down with coordinators from both sides of the ball.
Oh, inside information too. You got to balance that.
Yeah. But you have all this information. You want to share it, and then you have to use 10% of it. You have to know where to kind of draw the line, because you don't want to just talk the entire broadcast. So the most challenging thing for me will be Al and Freddie, the producer, have worked together, I think, for over 20 years. And, they first worked together with John Madden when Al was with him. And then when Chris took over for John Madden, they were continuing to work together. So there's an incredible bond and chemistry. So I have to kind of learn their kind of way and rhythm of doing a broadcast.
Is that going to fuck you up with Chris on Saturday night? Is that going to fuck you up?
No, I don't think it will, man, because Chris and I have worked together for so long. I think it'll be a different balance. It'll be a different rhythm to it. But, you just have to adjust. That's all. At the end of the day, you have to adjust. I'm not going to sit here and say, this is how I do a game, and whoever I work with has to adjust to what I do. I would never do that. I'm very, very kind of deferential and being I have to look in the mirror and say, I'm the one that's going to have to adjust to the play-by-play guy. He's kind of running the point, and I'm adjusting to what he does and do the best that I can. So
I think one of the things that you do that is incredible is you seem to know everything about everybody that's on the field. And you don't rub it in our faces that you know. It's just kind of like a casual thing. And it's impossible to do in college because these teams turn over so quickly and it's a whole new batch. The NFL, have you had to dive into all the drama, the storylines, who did what, how they went, and everything like that? And when will you start doing that before next season? I mean, there's a lot of talk right now, right? I mean, they're having their league meetings right now. Matt Rule is aged like a president, by the way. Hey, we hope Matt Rule's okay.
Yeah, good luck,
hey,
man.
Rule, we hope everything's okay, Coach. We love you, man, but we're just, from the outside looking in, it appears as if you're going through some shit. And we know the NFL is tough, but good luck. But like the overtime rules and everything that changes and everything going on and the hirings and do you keep up with that already, or is that something you feel like you'll have to add in there, or is it like I don't want to know too much? Like, how will you balance?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I just think like you, my hobbies kind of keep me up with a lot of this stuff, but where I'll have to really roll up my sleeves with the NFL will be not so much familiarity with the players, because I do know that a lot, but schemes. Whether it's the defense or the offense, the structure of the offense and how they like to attack, how the defenses try to slow you down, red zone, third down, stuff like that. But also the rules. You know, the rules in college and pro are different in some key areas.
Oh, yeah.
So I just want to be kind of dialed in on that, and sit down with a rules expert. And but as far as some of these storylines, like there are big stories. I mean, these quarterbacks moving around, Deshaun going to Cleveland. I mean, there's monumental changes that are happening right now, but that's just more of just gathering intel as you go, and then when you get ready for your game, obviously be loaded up and ready to go. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I like you said, I've done college for so long. I've got a chance to dabble. Last year, did the Chiefs and the Broncos, did the Steelers and the Giants.
You were awesome,
and I think those experiences probably made me more interested in potentially doing this down the road. I think I've told you that in the past. But again, with the hope of never giving up on college. It's just college has always been, just growing up, in Ohio, it's always just been my passion, man. And I don't think that'll ever change. But I'm really looking forward to kind of learning the kind of the nuances and the game that behind the scenes about the NFL.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to getting much closer to the product and falling in love with it, that much more.
Well, that's it's going to be fun to watch you do this. And has it been announced how many years you'll be there? Are you announcing that or no?
Yeah, a 5-year deal.
Woo! Hey! Hey!
Oh.
And was there any other announcements about your business as of late too? Any other deals?
Yeah, ESPN. I re-upped there for 5 years too.
Wow.
Hey, what's that GIF? That dude just hops into the goal.
Oh yeah, Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, absolutely. Whichever duck it is. Herbie!
Go,
Herbie! Hey, man, you deserve it, dude. Hey, come on, dude. Let's go, bro.
Turkey money.
10 years worth of deals.
Yeah.
5 years of time. Let's go. Hey.
Hey, look what you got me doing right now. You got me
sweating. Hey, listen, just walk right over to that bank here in about a year and say anything will happen. You deserve it, dude. You honestly deserve it. And I'm happy that we're at a time now where I feel like networks are starting to realize that the people that are calling games are very important. And if it wasn't for some mistakes that were made in some very prominent games, I don't think this would ever happen. So as soon as we see the way the market was going, off air, we didn't say it on air the first day, and I was actually like bummed. I actually I said to the boys, like, hey, we kind of fucked up. We forgot Kirk. Off air, we were like, this is good news to be Kirk. This is a good time to be Kirk Herbstreit. But not just you, Kirk. I am also selfishly looking, there is other people that are watching this that are like, oh, maybe in the booth 4 or 5 years. What will the numbers be like then? So congrats to you. We're all very, very thankful for you. The boys have some questions, Kirk. Go ahead, Tom.
Yep. Kirk, nothing's going to be – how much easier does it make it that you've been doing college game day and college games for so long and preparing for the draft coverage and stuff like that? So, like, the players and stuff like that, you'll know all of this. You'll probably have more background info than the current NFL announcers because you've been following these kids for a while.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of what I noticed when I did those 2 games. And I didn't really plan on it. I didn't really think much about it. And I asked you guys, I mean, I'm not sitting there constantly wanting to bring up stories about these guys from college, obviously. But there are just built-in memories that just kind of trigger about something they did.
Hey, it was a nice added detail. Yeah. Nobody else did it. That's why it was nice, I think.
Yeah, and again, I'm not I didn't really go in with a plan on doing that. There was just a guy would make a play and somehow or another it would just kind of come out. And I want to be careful of that because I would ask, let me ask you guys, the NFL fan, if we took a poll from the East Coast to the West Coast, every team, what percentage of NFL fans do you think is a crossover where they're passionate college football fans and passionate NFL fans? What percentage do you think are diehard for both? Like, I watch both. You guys probably watch both, I'm guessing. What percentage? Like, you get to the Giants and the Patriots. Do they really watch college football? So what percentage would you say?
It's regional, but you would know this information more than us, I think, just because you've been so deep into the college football world. To be honest, I grew up in Pittsburgh, right? Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is an NFL and NHL town, right? That it is an NFL town, NHL town. So everybody I knew, it was NFL talk because of how big the Steelers were. So then I go to West Virginia, which, by the way, West Virginia, the Harvard of West Virginia, it was the only team in the state, basically, so everybody came. But whenever we played in games, it was kind of big. Then I go to Indianapolis, more of a Colts city. When I did game day and we traveled to some of those places, I was like, oh shit, I had no idea college football had it like this. Like, I think I had no idea that college football had it like that. But I don't think that should matter. Like, I don't think the crossover should matter because the NFL fan, and I might be speaking out of pocket here, but if we can learn something new about somebody, like, that's good. Because these are professional athletes now. Not that the college athletes aren't impressive, but these are the greatest athletes on the planet, like in the crew of those. So an added detail of it, when he went to this school and did something, like, all that information is good. That's not bad. Like, I don't think you're just trying to appease the college fans there. I think the NFL fans will enjoy to learn more, but it can't be fucking your entire thing, though. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be
not at all. But I was just curious, with the because college, you go down to Tuscaloosa or Baton Rouge or places, if you took a New York Giants fan who's never been to a college football game, that kind of looks at college football like it's, the JV, and they went to Baton Rouge and watched a night game against Florida, I think they would walk away like
Steelers fan. You drop a Steelers fan in one of the the place I was at, the Steelers would be like, well, I ain't barking, I'm an adult, but I have a lot of respect for these fans. Like, that is, honestly, you're right. You're 100% right. It's fucking insane down there.
Yeah. I think it's the closest to like Premier Soccer in Europe, in our country, college football, certain fan bases. I mean, and I think the NFL gets there, whether it's, a Monday night game, a Thursday night game, you get into the postseason. I think you kind of ramp up some of the emotion. But college football, man, I mean, it's week one. They are out of their minds with energy. But as far as your question, I think it'll help me a lot just doing those two games. I just felt, when you're calling a game and it's Saquon Barkley or it's Patrick Mahomes or these guys that you've just known their entire career, it definitely allows you, instead of having to read up on some of these guys, you already know, going all the way back to their freshman year in college, kind of their story.
Yeah, highly recruited guy, or not a lot of people like this guy. Yeah. Like, he was kind of overlooked. He was a walk-on. Like that. Those types of information that build up the characters that are professional athletes are just, it's awesome.
Adversity that they faced, or maybe they didn't face any adversity, or whatever their storyline is. It just allows you to understand a little bit more about their journey, and their path to where they are currently. Everybody
faces adversity, even those people that are on top of the world, because the pressure of staying on top is always a fucking, I'd imagine, nightmare. I've gotten very lucky to meet some of the people that are at the, like, hey, this person is the blank of sport. Like, I've gotten a chance to meet like said person a couple of times. Such interesting people, man. Just, they know it. They all know it. But that pressure to stay up there just keeps them up at night. Like, it's like you have to live up to what is being said about you for however long it is. I have a lot of respect for that as well. But man, Herbie, by the way, of college football.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You're the Kirk Herbstreit of college football, because you know that everybody's expecting that out of you every single week on the institution of college football. So that drives you to watch more film, I assume, do more and everything like that. That pressure is not easy to handle as well. You have done that glowingly. College game day, huh? Back in front of full crowds, probably. Yeah. You're going Thursday night football on Amazon in some awesome city. I can't wait for you to experience like Bill's Mafia Mafia. Yinzer's late, you know, like late in the season when it's cold as hell and there's no reason for the people to be as drunk as they are and crazy as they are. How about Green Bay?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to love Baltimore, by the way. Don't let it slide. Baltimore Ravens fans, awesomely negative. Like that is what you want in the whole thing. We're excited for you, Herbie. Couple more questions. Go ahead, Ty.
Herbie, you're obviously the consummate professional, best at what you do, so I don't think this will be an issue, but is there any concern with how much you actually have to prepare for game day when you're going through the entire slate, that Thursday doesn't become kind of just like a side gig and you kind of end up pushing it away? Like, obviously, I don't think that's the case. You mentioned how excited you are to work with Al, but have you thought about that at all, that like how much time you actually have to put in to prepare for game day? Is that going to be different than how much time you're going to have to put in for these Thursday night games?
That's a great question, man. The one thing I'm anxious about is getting into a routine. I've just had my same routine, and I known what Sunday looks like. I know what Mondays look like. I've just known it, and now it's all going to change. I've written it down. I've looked at a calendar. I've done that several times, trying to look at my Sunday. You know, Sunday for me has always been a veg day. Like, just unplug, get home at usually 2 a.m, and you know I haven't slept. And Sunday I'm just kind of like half awake, half asleep, watching a game, hanging out with my wife and my kids. And now it can't be. You know, I'm working a short week on a Thursday, so Sunday, if I'm doing, you know, Bills against Seahawks or whatever it is, I'm watching those games. You know, I'm actually like dialed in on Sunday to the two teams that I'm going to be calling. And then Monday, just knowing how I am, I'm going to be incredibly anxious to work with Al, and I'm going to be working probably too much for Thursday.
I was just thinking about that. Like, what is it? You're just going to be housing deuce coffees. Like, I mean, this is going to be a thing. This is going to be a real thing.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is, you know, you're going to be dialed in to trying to balance all of them, but really looking at that Thursday game the first few weeks. You know, on all the 3 of those days, I'll have Zoom calls and things like that with game day and the game that I call on Saturday night on those 2 days as well. Wednesday, I'll leave town to go to wherever the Thursday night game is, and so that'll be a travel day and a prep day. You know what that's like, you know, Pat, when the broadcasters of the game, they go to practice. It's like a walkthrough, and then you visit afterwards with you know, with the quarterback, the head coach, you know, defensive guy, and you know, got to fit in a dinner on Wednesday night with Al, which I really want to do, but it's just I'd love to answer this question like week 3. You know, I don't know how I'm going to balance them all, but I know I will. I'm just looking forward to kind of finding that routine, but I will not put everything into Thursday and shortchange game day or shortchange Saturday night. I'll be dialed in on all 3.
Yeah, or vice versa. The interesting thing is it'll work out because it has to. You know, like I assume you'll even like as you're reading your rhythm, you'll be like, oh, I don't think I did enough for this last week. Let's do that. Like, I'm very excited to watch you piece it together. Are you a dry erase board guy? Like, will you visualize all of this? Will you type it? What do you do with your life? Are you a super scheduled human being?
When it comes to this, I am. I'm a old school. I like to write things down. You know, I like to get notepad, and I'll just go through different versions of, you know, what the week will look like, and then I'll just kind of, as you just said, I mean, I'll tweak it based on how the week goes those first 2 or 3 weeks. But I have an idea of how it's going to go, but until you experience it, you know, you really don't know. You guys.
What time you wake up? What time you wake up in the morning? And is it an alarm? How do you wake up?
I'm up at like 6. I'm up early.
You like the mornings, or you're up?
Do what in the morning?
You like the morning or no?
I don't have a problem with, I don't drink coffee. How about that? But I don't
green tea? Do you do green tea?
Yeah, I'll drink like green tea or water.
Okay, yeah. So
like not like a health choice. When I was a kid and maybe in college I tasted coffee and I just didn't like it, so I've just never gone back to it. But mornings aren't a problem for me. You know, my biggest problem is sleeping through the night.
Yeah, me too.
Like, because I think just being anxious and thinking about things, and you know, I can fall asleep in the blink of an eye, but then, you know, an hour or two later I'm up. You know, and then I have a hard time going to sleep because my brain's constantly, especially in the season, is just constantly thinking about something I got to do, or you know, a report I've got, or whatever it might be. But if I could turn my brain off, that would be great. But it just does. I'm sure you experience the same thing.
Yeah. I was about to say, I'll start texting you during the season whenever I'm having those same things, just to see if we're happening to sync up at the same time. Herbie, what's going on? Like 3:15 a.m. Just some random number to you. Wake up 3:15. Herbie, what's going on? Yeah, I'm up for at least the next 2 hours because my brain wants to figure out right now how we're talking about whatever it is. It's a gift and a curse, man. It is. I can't wait to see you balance your energy, because I remember that one fall when I was doing Get Up on Mondays in New York, and then I was doing my show from New York, and then hopping on a plane. We'd fly back Tuesday, Wednesday, fly to the Thursday night football thing, do the show from the back of a box truck on Thursday, then fly back after that game to Indy, then there for a few weeks getting the invite to College Game Day, which was awesome, flying to wherever Game Day was. On Sunday, when like, okay, this is what my show is about, I was dead. I mean, just absolutely dead. I gained like 80 pounds, I think. Remember you and me on the national championship right beforehand? We literally said, we're going to lose some weight this offseason. We were literally having that full conversation. I'm excited to see you handle that whole thing.
But dude, here's the thing. You set your mind to do it. Like if you did what you just described in the off season, when there was a little bit of downtime, whatever that might be for you, it's like your brain, you set your mind for what it needs to do, and you can go on a plane and sleep for 2 hours and get up, but you know, it's just, I don't know. It's like you can go on adrenaline when you set your mind to something. And if you tried to do that when it was downtime, you would just be dead. You couldn't do it. But there's something about adrenaline that's your best friend. You know, when you go through what you're describing, thank God it's, you know, only for 4 months. I mean, you couldn't do it for 12, but that's what's really carried me. I think, honestly, I'm not just saying this, loving the game as much as I do is my adrenaline. And that allows me to kind of just not worry about sleep or not worry about what I'm eating, or you just go because you love doing it.
And I talked about this on my Instagram yesterday. It's like what I watched my dad do. Like, my dad was a truck driving mover. Okay, he was a long-haul truck driver and a mover at the same time. So what are the two like worst jobs? Okay, probably mover would be the worst job of all time. Nobody likes that. No. And then truck driving, you're like on a road all by yourself basically. He was that, right? So whenever I get like see somebody who is potentially in a job that is not like, you know, oh man, I don't know if I can go today or whatever. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, this is not actual work, right? Like, what we get to do is not actual work, but managing your energy so you can be worth a shit is so fascinating. Like, it's been a constant battle for me as well. That's why, like, looking up to a guy like you, who last year your schedule, and once we got to see it, I'm like, oh my God, this dude's on the road, on the move. I can't wait for you, dude. But super pumped for you.
What you're describing is perspective, you know, and that's, and just appreciation. You know, like if you genuinely have perspective and appreciation for what you do, who gives a shit? You're traveling here, you're flying here, you're sleeping on a plane. Really? Like that's your hard time. So yeah, I'm not saying what you and I and others do in this industry is easy. I'm just saying, let's all just have some perspective and let's just make it work. And
hey, let's enjoy sports, by the way. Hey, we can enjoy sports.
Yeah.
I mean, that is something that almost gets lost in this entire thing, is you're allowed to like enjoy it. You're allowed to be like, oh, this guy's really good, as opposed to just pointing out who the really good person just beat. Like there's a way to kind of view the game in a different lens, like as a celebration. We're all so lucky, fucking very lucky. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Kirk, Al Michaels' former partner Collinsworth had a little slide in. Have you thought about doing like a Herbie hop into the booth maybe when it's time and he introduces you?
Man, I thought about that because I've obviously watched Chris do that a lot. On social media, it's been crazy. But, man, I mean, I would ask you guys, I'm not going to copy. It's like when Lee Corso eventually has to retire, there's no way somebody's going to come on game day and put on a headgear. Like, it retires with Lee Corso, right? And Chris, I'm not saying the slide and the headgear are the same, but it's his thing, right? I'm not going to do that. I feel like an idiot doing that, you know.
Could you imagine? Hey, could you imagine your first game, just You know, everybody be like, look at this guy stealing Collinsworth's thing. You know what I mean? Like you would get buried for that.
My whole thing, my whole career is I've never had a thing.
No, you do. Don't you have like 2 remotes in your? I feel like when they cut and where I see a photo.
Here's my 2 things. I do have like a little remote, and I have air conditioning wherever the hell I go. I have air conditioning with me at all times because I run hot. It's the way I've been since I was a baby. So those are my only 2 things. But I've never had a thing like a shtick, and I'm just not. I don't think I'm talented enough to do. The way I'm talking to you guys right now is just the way I talk on the air too.
Hold on. What was that? The school in New Orleans. Tulane.
Oh my God!
I called a Tulane game on that Thursday night, and it was a little later in the season, I think. So
it was the first one, so it was August.
No, not Tulane. Then was it Tulane?
Yeah, it's the one where you sprint from the field up to the.
Was that the first? No, Cincinnati UCLA was the first one, right?
Yeah.
So it was early though.
It was the third one, I think.
It was hot as hell down there. Yeah, I thought it was later because I thought I was fatter, but I might have just been fatter going into the season. Tulane, hey, Tulane, dude. It was 7,000 degrees. That booth, it's a 3-man booth. Me, Hasselbeck, Amin, 2 spotters, right? Hasselbeck's got a guy. Amin's got a guy. I'm in the corner down there. You know, everybody was very nice to us, but it was very hot. Man, I lost 70 pounds that night. That my suit was like wrapped to my arm because sweat was so thick in it. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to survive this entire.
Dude, no one knows heat. Like, not Tulane in New Orleans, but Baton Rouge in September.
So you got a little box, like a window one?
I mean, here's the thing. Air doesn't move. Like, it's almost like, is there oxygen in the area anywhere that I can get? Because I can't breathe. And I'm just sitting here for 3 hours. It's like sitting in a sauna. Set that sauna at about, 140. Put your suit on. Make sure your tie is real tight.
And makeup. Make sure the makeup, and you're not glistening. Yeah.
We got lights. We got lights with more heat. Yeah, so it could be, dude, it could be 35 degrees out in Pittsburgh, and I got my air conditioning unit underneath the desk. When you come to work at game day, you're going to look at me and say, dude, you seriously got the AC on still? Yeah, I will. And you'll laugh at me.
Hey, listen. You just plug it in? Is it a little bit?
I
heard that. Yeah, I heard the game day thing, and I was wondering, like, all right, if this guy's able to plug in an air conditioning under him, that probably means is there an ability for me to have an air conditioning under a potential table if that was to be the case? You know, these are all things to think. I run very hot as well, very very hot, Herbie.
Good.
Yeah.
You'll see, they all make fun of me because I'm always getting air conditioning. And they're like Dez, especially. I mean, when I see any moisture on Dez's forehead, I'm like, I'm dead. Dez doesn't sweat. He lives in Miami. He never gets hot, you know. And Pollock's the same way. So yeah, you'll be my teammate when it comes to the AC.
A lot of guaranteeing things there. Yeah, the way your tone of saying things is very fascinating. You know, that was it was almost like you were making an announcement the way you were saying it. I would like to let everybody know there's no announcement being made.
No, but I look forward to that announcement. You're going to have me on the show when you make that announcement.
Oh, man, it would be great to have you. All right, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We appreciate you, man. You're awesome. Your dogs are awesome. Thank you for coming on the show today, man.
Hey, two things. Number one, this is what I look at. Benny.
Oh.
Hey, good boy.
What's up, dog?
Theo, good boy. And here's Mitch over here. He's a 1-year-old. Mitch.
Oh, what up, Mitch? How's it going?
He's by a balloon.
Yeah.
There he is right there.
That's awesome.
Hey, he's Mitch Batten, 1-year-old golden retriever. A lot of energy, right? I mean, that's
a lot of energy. So I had to show you the boys, and then I want to wish you good luck on Saturday.
Hey, Sunday.
Or Sunday. I know that just watching you, and I know how much how passionate you are. We're talking about passion for football. I know how passionate you are about that. So this is going to be a great opportunity for you to do your thing, and a lot of people to watch you. I just want to know, you've been practicing there at your office where you're going up and you're going to do one of those deals up in the air like 20 feet.
Yeah, you Ohio guys love the word deals. I don't know what's going to happen. You know, Herbie. So I got to be ready for whatever whenever, however. I'm hoping this thing ends quick, like a Tyson fight. I'm hoping this is very quick, somehow kick to the head, 1, 2, 3, place goes bananas, I assume. But if we have to go a little longer, I am preparing myself for everything. I just flexed on you there. I'm in probably the best shape I've ever been in. Honestly, probably the best shape I've ever been in.
Dude, you're shredded right now.
Thank you. I should have done this in the NFL. I should have.
It's working. It's working, whatever you're doing there. Now, this guy's a smart ass, right? This guy that's smacking you across the head, and he's kind of taunting you a little bit.
3 times, Herbie. 2 in this side, 1 in this side. He's a young little punk. He doesn't know what he doesn't know. I don't know how he's going to be 10 years from now. I assume when I was 24, there's a chance I was a little punk bitch, too, to certain people. He's Vince McMahon's kind of right-hand guy, too, so he kind of wields the power of the boss over your head. He's a bitch. That's what he is. Yeah. And I'm doing what a lot of people want to do, Herbie. That's what I'm getting a chance to do what a lot of people want to do on Sunday, so I got to do it for all of us.
That's going to feel good. I cannot wait to watch this.
Man, thank you, Herbie.
Are you going to talk a lot of shit, you think? Like, after you beat him, you're going to grab the mic and talk trash, or what are you going to do?
Herbie, I was a pretty chatty guy in all sports that I played. Yes, I was pretty chatty. Not negative, though. Always always very positive. Woo! Hey.
You're fun with the mic. Like when you were at the draft in Nashville, and you said, you probably don't know who I am.
Bingo.
Because I was the punter. And we didn't punt very often when we played the Titans.
Yes.
Like that.
Hey, good delivery, by the way, by you. Yeah. And also, that joke pretty high. I mean, pretty high-level joke there.
That was a great moment. And half of them didn't even know what you meant. It was just kind of right over top of the head.
But Herbie, I'm going to talk about this, and I don't know if I should tell you this now or later, but everything I do is for the internet. So everything I say is for the internet. Everything I do is for the internet. That draft speech, 100% just for the internet. So it's like I want the live audience to have a good time, and that makes for better internet, by the way, if the people in the building are doing it. But I know that my words will eventually get picked apart in a tweet probably. So that is really, my entire thought process almost every single day,
Yeah, well, that's part of it. You've handled that really well. I mean, it's a balancing act because you're trying to please 2 parties, the live audience and then also the internet.
Yeah, but if the live audience is having a good time, the internet's having a good time. I think that's what gets missed. Like if the people there are having the time of their life, that's a better that's a better mood to watch a video in. I just think it kind of all ties in,
Yep.
All right.
No doubt. You're going to crush it, man.
I hope so, dude.
I'll be dialed in.
Hey, I've been training, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I've been training, Herbie. All right, dude. Have a good one. Thank you for the hour conversation. Congrats on Amazon. Congrats on ESPN. 10 years worth of deals in 5 years. Herbstreit got the Brinks truck delivered.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, Amazon Prime, Thursday Night Football analyst and College Game Day host and college football night in America. Mm-hmm. What's your Saturday night game called?
It's just Saturday night primetime, ABC.
Woo! Wow. Kirk Herbstreit, you're the man. He's the best, dude.
Yeah.
He is the best.
Pumped for him to be in the NFL.
Hey, that is one thing that I always thought was good internet. Always have, always will. If you get a good environment,
oh yeah.
If you see everybody having a blast, that's good internet in my eyes.